It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Happy Monday to you. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I'm Mark Daniels. Thanks for tuning in with us dead early. Actually, it's dead early on this marvelous Monday. This Monday is really a dead early Monday. That time change thing, I don't know who sanctioned that and who signed off on it, but please send me to the place where they don't change the time.
Yeah, it has been rough for all of us as we spring forward. I think many of us, a girlfriend of mine said it best, I really needed that extra hour. And I felt that to my core. I think we all do. It happens every single time. So we'll get through the season and then we'll come back to daylight savings time. And then everybody's going to be upset. Oh, it's so dark. We need that extra hour. And so I think Annalise, who's one of our producers, said, could we just have one time?
Exactly. Put that on the referendum next time.
Yes, well, we hope that all of you are springing into action today. We've already sprung forward on the clocks. It is what it is. So let's get it in and make sure that it's a great one. Looking forward to a phenomenal show. So many things continue to happen in the world, Mark, that we just have to continue to just be grateful each day that we wake up and we get to do this. And so that's the attitude that I come with this morning, even though I dead tired, as you would say.
I agree 1,000%. The world keeps turning and, look out for you and yours and, stay positive. This too shall pass.
Indeed. Well, this morning we've got another great show lined up for you. We're going to be talking to Dr. Ruthmae Sears. She's a Bahamian teaching math at the University of South Florida. And we'll hear from medical school, Western Atlantic University School of Medicine in Grand Bahama.
That's very exciting. Can't wait to hear about those segments. But we're also going to have the junior winners in the Central Bank's Financial Literacy Video Essay Competition. And we're also going to take a look at rehabilitation services offered at Doctors Hospital. Now, listen up closely. TCL is inviting you to the 23rd Grand Bahama Business Outlook. It's going to be happening this Thursday, March 17th. And we're going to have expert presenters sharing on how to move from beyond recovery and into growth. You can register at tclevents.com. The cost to register is only $50. And now let's check on weather with Godfrey Burnside. We need to find out how to get this sun to come back out the right time. Tell us, Godfrey.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at sunrise, we have a stationary formal boundary across the Exomas, Cat Island, and San Salvador this morning. We'll gradually lift north through tomorrow, with high pressure north of the islands still generating some breezy conditions, and they will continue through tonight. Today, looking at variable cloudiness, still breezy, with a few showers, mainly along that frontal boundary, high temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a few nighttime showers, the low temperature going down to 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 84 and 75. In Jamaica, 86 and 74. In Trinidad, 86 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 82 and 68. Across North America, Atlanta, 61 and 33. In Raleigh, 64 and 32. In Miami, 76 and 67. Dallas, Texas, 69 and 49. And Toronto, Canada, 39 and 26. As with the week, frontal boundary will lift north, while high pressure shifts east, causing increasing winds. So tomorrow, we look like variable cloudiness with a few showers as the system moves towards the north. And then the remaining week looking at partly sunny skies, becoming warmer. The temperature daytime will be in the low to mid 80s daytime and the upper 60s, the low 70s at nighttime. If that puts you off in your first look at weather at sunrise, I'm Coffee Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. This morning, it's my absolute pleasure to be talking to Bahamian Dr. Ruthmae Sears, who's always been excellent at math and was recently featured on Fox News Tampa for her outstanding achievements. She's here to talk with us this morning about her work and career, and she reminded me that it's Pi Day. And for those of you that may not remember from school, it's 3.14, the March 14th, that of course being Pi. And so it's so awesome that we get to chat with her today on this big day in math. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, Dr. Sears.
Good morning and happy Pi Day and Albert Einstein birthday today. So we definitely celebrate mathematics.
Yeah, this is a woman that loves her math, right? You can see the smile on her face and the fun facts that she's given us. But of course, some important things. We'd be nowhere in the world without math, right? And of course, Albert Einstein and his theories have really transformed the world in the way that it works. So these are important things to acknowledge. And we also want to acknowledge you because you have been doing some amazing work in this area of math. When did you first notice you had a talent for it?
I always loved math. In fact, I can recall my first grade, I would go to my sister's sixth grade class teacher. I mean, my sister, of course, would be like, this is my teacher, territorial, but her teacher would give me work to do. And my sister would be the same one showing me how to do it. So at one level, that's her teacher, but in the other level, she's reinforcing my learning. Mm-hmm. And so I would always smile about how sort of proximal development that anyone can learn pending the environment. And so I would be the first grader going into sixth grade class to get my little sheet of paper. I wanted to learn it. And I think they just stimulated my interest. And I always had good memories about it. My sister, I would be like, I don't know why Ruthmae want to be in my class. So it all depends on how we tell that story.
Indeed. Whoever's telling the story has obviously a different perspective, but she, of course, helped to foster that love of math, she and her teacher. And over the years, how else was your love of math fostered?
I had phenomenal teachers, I must admit, from kindergarten to graduate school. They challenged me truly to exhibit the mathematical processes and practices and to become mathematically proficient. So I can recall my sixth grade math teacher, so I do love her, Mrs. Barbara Dawson, giving me extra problems, or my high school math teacher, Mrs. Olivia Ken. Like, she taught me how to prove. I can recall, when school closed, everyone else get to stay home, not me. Ruthmae, you need to come to school to practice. And I'm like, oh, crap. But at the same time, I couldn't duck Miss Ken. So when she called, you had to show up. It was more math. But when I went to graduate school, even at the University of Missouri, like Dr. Dix Petty, he had me go to RL Law conferences, the MAA meetings. I'm learning how to prove and really appreciate the beauty of math. In fact, I would always tell them I'm a math educator. And they were like, you're a natural mathematician. I'm like, no, I want to teach math. I always want to keep it on the teaching component. And it was fascinating that, seeing your appreciation for the discipline itself, but also my commitment to the educational realm was also notable for my audience. So it was a true fusion of arts.
That's awesome. I love to hear it. I can't stop smiling because I think people underestimate the value that great teachers play and just shaping your world in the direction in which you go. And so it's a beautiful thing for me to hear all of the great teachers that inspired you. And then, of course, you deciding, listen, as many things that I can apply with this math, I want to make sure that people get the love for it that I have, that they understand it and get to work with it the way that I do. So it's a beautiful thing to hear. You come full circle from people helping you through teaching, and now you doing the same. And one of the ways that was also embedded in your life, I guess, is the Teachers Cadet Program. What was your journey like, that journey with that program?
I am grateful. I must admit, I was grateful to Shirla Roll, Deidreanne Arthur, Janice Hardy, Olivia Kent, and the phenomenal teachers at C.L. Walker. So you'd always hear me bragging about the Knights country. It is what it is. But they were truly instrumental in making one of the best decisions of my life to become a teacher. And I had the opportunity to work with Edith Roll at the Ministry of Education because, the program was just started. So we were like almost the experimental baby. But Ms. Roll was such a pleasant spirit. And I would always laugh how we'd go to the ministry on Shirley Street. There was no space in the office. So we'd sit on her desk. And it was just like one big family, but it was fun. I mean, when you look back at the things you got excited about as a kid is really interesting. But we'll go squeeze up in her room, sitting on her desk, talking about teaching, thinking about how we could help our friends learn, and then go and experiment at our schools and come back and have those conversations. But it was just positive energy. Like, it was really memorable. So Eat It Roll was like, when I tell you, a ball of light, real hope. And because it was a new program, we didn't know where it would take us. We were just having fun. And looking back, I would always stop and say thank you, because, she really invested in my life, but she also got me to appreciate the beauty of teaching. And I do believe that early exposure makes a big difference, because when we think about teacher recruitment, it's hard to find people who want to be teachers. And I honestly think if I didn't have that opportunity, I could have been doing something else, probably actuarial sciences or, some form of calculations, but not appreciating the beauty of the art of teaching and teaching mathematics. So to those wonderful educators, I say thank you. But to Miss Edith Rule, thank you for being a visionary to help build that teacher cadet program. You're retired now, but your love and your commitment to the field will always live on. So just got to give her a shout out.
That is awesome. No, I just love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. So many of our teachers don't get their roses. Our educators, like, very few people understand the work that goes into these things. And very often we take it for granted. So to hear you call these names this morning is a blessing, I think, to the nation. And then certainly to the women whose names you're calling. They ought to know the impact that they've had on you, even as you go on now to have an impact on so many others. You recently received a fellowship from the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Big deal. Congratulations. What does that mean to you?
I'm humbled. That's the honest truth. I'm truly humble. Like, AAAS fellows are recognized for extraordinary achievement across disciplines. So I was humbled to know my scholarly contribution and my true commitment to justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, and math education was making national and global impact. And I was also pleased to know that everyone who invested in my life was able to celebrate with me, particularly to all those hardworking teachers in the public school system, notably, of course, the Welke Knights and Woodcock Primary. So got to give my nicest shout out as usual. Yeah. So I'm truly, truly grateful, but it was really a humbling experience, because when you think about the journey, growing up on Nassau, going to Indiana, going to Missouri, and then coming down to Florida, but then really thinking about how your identity evolved, but also your commitment to the village that supported you has never faded. And I think that is something that I celebrate, and I was truly humbled by. So as the world celebrate, I would always say celebrate the village that built this space.
Yeah, indeed. Now, you talked a lot about, the village that built you, and of course your commitment to education as a result of that. But why do you still love teaching? What is it about, what the village has shown you and what you've been exposed to that just keeps you inspired to keep teaching?
It's the future, because when you teach students, you're teaching the future, and you're really helping to shape a better world. And so when I talk about mathematics, I would always say math is bigger than all of us. It's really teaching them life skills. So, for example, the standards for mathematical practice, it states make sense of problem solving and persevere, reason abstractly and quantitatively, constructing viable arguments and critiquing the reasoning of others, modeling with mathematics, using appropriate tools strategically, attending to precision or looking for structures. But these skill sets, they're not restricted to mathematics. They can be applied to everyday activity. So really thinking about how to use your logical or critical thinking skills, how to use problem solving skills. And so in this regard, really thinking about that you're making the future better, and you're equipping students to have 21st century skills to be effective in their environments, but also making them better to make a better world for all of us. Because as much as I want to stay forever young, I'm realizing I'm getting older every day. So we got to make this place a better place for all of us. Indeed. But if I find fun of you, I'll jump in it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, one of the things that and we do have to go. I wish we could talk all morning, right? But one of the things that you've talked about a lot, of course, is making the world a better place. This idea and this need for diversity and inclusion, even as you stay committed to the principles of mathematics. March, of course, is Women's History Month in the United States, which is where you're based, and you advocate for diversity in STEM education. Why is that so important to you that women and women of color are seen and see their futures in that space?
Diversity in STEM is so important, because not only does it broaden your viewpoints, but it also helps to address economic disparities, particularly of individuals, because we talk about salary gaps and also income disparities. So it provides an opportunity to build bridges. It also confronts biases in products and service disseminated, because research of historically oppressed, marginalized identities, from the medical care they received to even the educational opportunities, Hence, our commitment to broadening participation emphasizes progress, and it can be beneficial to everyone because we truly need advocates at the table to ensure the products that are created are culturally sensitive and, does not come in with a negative bias perspective, but really think about the uniqueness of the individual. So we do need diversity, and I'm always going to continue to advocate. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Doc, it has been a real pleasure to talk to you this morning, Dr. Sears. I hope all the Knights are watching, all the students at Wilcox Primary are watching. I hope that our government systems are watching, right? And recognizing that there is just unlimited possibility and, good teachers who can invest in you all along the way. And so we celebrate you. We really do. And we are just incredibly proud of you for being featured on Fox News, for just all the work that you've been doing. And we continue to congratulate you and wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day, and happy Pi Day. Take care, everyone.
Happy Friday. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Join the Click is an initiative started by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions last year when we were trying to figure out how to help business leaders as well as consumers to stay connected. Working with Canoe, working with other partners, working with the government and My Gateway to help them to connect with customers who want to place orders and want to be able to do things in a digital way.
My Gateway. My Gateway is a groundbreaking portal through which clients can request and pay for government services online. We have 28 services. We expect to increase the number of services to a minimum of 200.
I love that we're helping the government and helping our citizens to be more efficient and to use their time more wisely.
I invite you to sign up for mygateway.gov.bs and let us make government work for you. Join the Click.
Welcome back. Bahamas at Sunrise hit Northern Bahamas last week and checked in on the new medical school, the Western Atlantic University School of Medicine. Here is our Annalise Thompson with that story.
Western Atlantic University School of Medicine is a new medical school in Freeport, Grand Bahama, featuring the newest in world-class facilities and technology.
Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, we call it WASM, is a magical place. It's a magical place for several reasons. First, I'd say we have a unique curriculum. So we have a systems-based curriculum that is integrated and with a focus on active learning. So students come and they learn by doing and learn by interacting with faculty and with one another. The days of sitting passively in a lecture, just listening to someone talk, that doesn't exist here. So our curriculum is very exciting. Our proximity to the US is another thing that makes us unique in terms of Caribbean medical schools. Our students have the luxury of being able to fly. Many of them are from the United States, and they have the luxury of flying home for the weekends to attend important events like grandma's birthday or a wedding, those sorts of things. And I think another thing that sets us apart and makes us very different is that we have a leadership team with a lot of experience in medical education. So I think if you look at the top leaders in our school, collectively we have probably 200 to 300 years of medical education experience, which means we've taught a lot of medical students, and most importantly, we've helped them all match and get good residency programs so they're practicing physicians today.
We are so excited about Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, and I think what sets us apart is we're brand new, and it's fantastic to be new and to have this blank slate where you can create and develop. And I think what sets us apart is because we're new, we're going to be modern, we're innovative, We've got a brand new campus that you see, and everything is really fit for purpose. And I really think that sets us apart. We've been able to hire a team of faculty and colleagues that we are just so thrilled about. And I think also our proximity to the United States. I think this just really sets us apart in being new, modern, different, and building everything from the ground up. It's fantastic.
Here on the Freeport campus, students spend the first 5 of 10 semesters of their curriculum. The first 5 semesters are often called the basic science years, but that's kind of a misnomer in that they do learn basic science, so the basic science that's fundamental to treating patients, but they also learn clinical skills. So they learn to listen to hearts and lungs and palpate the abdomen and interact with patients. So they learn those early patient interaction skills as well.
What happens here in Freeport is something called the pre-clerkship. Medical school is 4 years. It's a 4-year program, and the first 2 years, approximately the first 2 years, takes place here in Freeport. And we call that the pre-clerkship. So it's more their foundational sciences and the knowledge they need to then enter a hospital system and what we call the clerkship program. So they do hospital rotations. But here, what we have is a block and unit-based curriculum where students will do a unit on cardiovascular, a unit on respiratory, a unit on gastrointestinal. So the students are learning each real organ system within a unit, and it's all integrated. So the anatomy, the physiology, the pharmacology, the biochemistry is all integrated in their units of learning here. After they finish their units of learning here and do their 20 months here on pre-clerkship, then they will take something called the USMLE Step 1 exam. On passing that, then they'll enter hospital or clerkship rotations in the United States.
Development is happening in 3 phases.
We are in what we're calling phase 1, and we're really excited because phase 2 is going to happen just to the east of us. In the next week or so, we're going to start clearing for more building. What we have here is almost about a 40,000 square foot space and 2 classrooms and a simulation center and standardized patient center and offices, and it's really fit for purpose. But as we're really excited now to move into phase 2 and 3 subsequently, so we'll have other buildings all around in the wonderful acreage that we have here on site. It's going to be really exciting.
At WASM, students are engaged in hands-on training.
As far as hands-on integrated training, we are we're very interested in doing a lot of application sessions. So we call it a flipped classroom. So students will have guided resources and readings to do, and then they come into the classroom and they will apply it in a team environment and an applied environment. We're also really excited about our simulation center. So for those of you out there that don't know about simulation, they're simulated mannequins, and we can program them to have a heart attack, or they can blink, they can sweat, they can do all these things, and then the students work on a case or a problem within the simulated environment.
So the program is actually twofold. We have 4 simulation suites where students can actually interact with medical mannequins. Harvey is designed to simulate about 50 various clinical scenarios that are relative to cardiopulmonary situations. And in short, that is pretty much dealing with the heart and lungs. We also have Apollos, which are used basically to simulate acute clinical scenarios. Our standardized patient program provides students a safe learning environment where they are able to interact with simulated patients, or what we call standardized patients. That term actually comes from the fact that these are usually healthy individuals who, once recruited and hired, are trained to portray actual clinical findings. So part of their training involves learning scripts so that they can take on the likeness of various patients. And that can range from things like appendicitis, a suicidal person, somebody who had a heart attack, or even somebody who is playing the relative of somebody in the healthcare scenario. And so the importance of this is, of course, we know that physicians should be quite knowledgeable when it comes to knowing about various pathologies and what can occur in the life of their patients medical-wise. However, having strong communication skills and being able to establish good rapport with patients is quite important. So tying that all together is what we do here in the SP program. So we have persons who are designated as either SPs or PPs. Our professional patients are persons that we recruit from the community who have actual findings. This may be somebody who is on dialysis or somebody who has actually had a cardiovascular event such as a heart attack. And what I would do is bring that person in and still give them a certain level of training so that they would be able to express to the students what that experience was like. Because of course, you know, history taking is one component of the medical students' training.
Bahamians are encouraged to apply.
Yes, Bahamian students can and have applied, and we're excited about that. There are 5 full scholarships. Those are tuition-based scholarships, and so we are very excited about our Bahamian friends joining the team.
Absolutely. I would encourage anyone who's interested in WASM to go to our website, and that's you can just type in WAUSM or wasm.education, and you can see what's required for submitting an application and being considered for admission. We invite any and everyone to apply. Most of our students are coming from the United States right now, but of course we encourage and welcome tremendously Bahamians to apply, and we do have some Bahamian scholarships available, and all of that information is on our website.
I would just like to take this time to encourage Bahamians, and especially Grand Bahamians, to apply to WASM. This is an awesome opportunity for you to not only give back to perhaps your local community, but also your global community.
For Bahamas at Sunrise, I'm Annalise Thompson.
In the Bahamas, small business is big business. More than 90% of the businesses in the Bahamas are classified as micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center was created to serve them. We at the Access Accelerator offer a variety of services to our clients: business advisory services, training and entrepreneurial programming, mentorship and incubation, and advocacy.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our clients. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this marvelous Monday. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I'm Mark Daniels. Thank you for joining us dead early today on this Spring Forward Monday in March.
Indeed. We are not springing, we are sleepy, but we're doing the best that we can. And of course, we're grateful to have you with us. It's been a great educational morning, Mark, having that Bahamian teacher from the University of South Florida, bigging up her CR Walking Nights, of course, and just sharing her journey of amazing teachers that have led her to be the amazing educator she is. And then, of course, to see what's happening in Grand Bahama in terms of the Western School of Medicine.
Yes, definitely. I love those segments, especially the math segment with Dr. Sears. When she speaks, you can just tell she's so excited about it. And it actually reminds me that I too, I'm a math genius. You know, I did all A's in the GLAT. I've also got an A in BJC, and I think I got an A in BGCSE. So I should have an honorary doctorate assigned to me from Dr. Sears.
I think you should. I mean, if you did get that A in BGCSE, you well ahead of the game, brother.
I think GLAT was the bar.
Yeah, let's stick with GLAT. Okay, then. I don't know if we're gonna give the honorary doctorate for that, but we celebrate you for waking up early. We can give you that, right? We can give you the honorary doctorate for waking up for Bahamas at Sunrise. And we'll extend that to all of our viewers as well. We've got more to come in the second half of our show. We're gonna take a look at the rehabilitation services offered at Doctors Hospital.
Looking forward to that. And we're gonna hear from the junior winners of Central Bank's Financial Literacy Video Essay Competition. But let's take a second look at weather with Brother Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at the Sunrise, stationary from a boundary across Exuma, Cat Island, and San Salvador this morning, will gradually lift northwards through tomorrow, while high pressure north of the islands will generate breezy conditions through tonight. In your marine forecast, we do have a caution posted. Winds blowing northeast to east at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet on northwest and central Bahamas, easterly at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over southeastern islands. On Tuesday, those winds east to southeast at 15 knots, seas 2 to 5 feet northwest and central Bahamas, easterly at 15 knots, seas 2 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. Then on Wednesday, those winds become southeast to south at 15 knots, seas 2 to 5 feet northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 knots, seas 2 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. Currently have a high tide at 5:57 this morning. The next low tide will be at 26 minutes past midday. High gain this evening at 6:15. Sunset at 7:17 this morning. Rises tomorrow at 7:18. UV index 7. Your water temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase for its quarter. Your extended look from boundary lifts north, while high pressure shifts east, causing decreasing winds. So we're looking at some variable cloudiness with a few showers tomorrow, as that system moves towards the north. And then remaining look partly sunny and warm. With those sunny daytime, will be in the low to mid 80s daytime, and the upper 60s and lower 70s at nighttime. That was dropping a final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Well, we are so happy that you're still with us. Thank you so much, Godfrey. The Rehabilitation Department at Doctors Hospital now has 2 locations to serve you. Here is that story.
Doctors Hospital boasts a comprehensive multi-facility rehabilitation program with a full range of services for patients needing therapy.
Here at Doctors Hospital, we do have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, exercise physiology, and massage therapy services. So we tend to customize the services to suit the patient. So whatever you need, we are able to provide, and if we can't provide it, we'll help you to find the help that you need.
Exercise physiologists customize exercise programs for patients.
We have a team of wonderful exercise physiologists here. They're very highly trained. Some of them are trained in cardiac rehab, and what they offer for us is a customized exercise program, And in, persons with medical conditions, they can't do the run-of-the-mill personal training. So our exercise physiologists, that's where they play a big part. They customize exercises for persons who have had serious medical issues. And, we have our senior fitness program that they commandeer. They also do lung function assessments. They do, as I mentioned, they're integral in our cardiac rehab program, right? So, they do whatever you can think of in terms of exercise and maintaining a happy, healthy cardiovascular system.
Doctors now offer services at 2 locations.
We now have our new Cable Beach location. And as you know, we all like new things. So it's well outfitted with all the things that you've come to know for Doctors Hospital, the high-end equipment and the specialized treatments. So it is located in that Super Valley Plaza. That's what people tend to call it, Cable Beach. We're right beside Wendy's. And, it's pretty easy to find. And we offer a variety of services. We treat our kids here. We treat our older patients here. Any particular condition, we can accommodate it at our Cable Beach location.
Speech and language therapy is also offered by Doctors Hospital.
Speech and language therapy is needed when a person has a speech impediment or they may have a swallowing disorder, which is developed maybe during childhood or as an adult after having a stroke or a brain injury. I work with patients on a one-on-one basis, so their goals are individualized. Depending on their goals, it might be articulation. In that area, we work on age-appropriate sounds. The child might be delayed in sounds that are appropriate for their age. With adults, most adults may had a stroke. With that comes dysphagia, so that's a swallowing disorder. They may not be able to tolerate regular food and liquids. So we kind of work on oral motor exercises and what we call per-oral, PO trials, to kind of find out what texture and what diet they should be placed on.
Krista has seen great success with patients.
There has been so much great moments, I would say, success stories where working with kids and adults, because it's kind of a wide range, you see a lot of kind of highs and lows. So I would say the most success is seeing my kids, especially kids that are on the spectrum disorder, autism. They tend to come in, nonverbal kids I've seen, and you've seen progress. It may be slow, but being able to express their wants and needs, I've noticed that to be my greatest success, being in this field.
Other specialty services include home care and cardiac rehab.
So as well as offering our on-site treatments, we have the option for home care. This is where we provide concierge services. So we come to your home, or in some cases we come to your office, just depending on where you need the service. And we meet you there and we provide a detailed assessment and treatment just as if you were on site at any of our locations. Our cardiac rehab program is a very specialized program, and it involves several groups of individuals. So we have our physical therapists, or exercise physiologists, or pharmacists, or psychologists, and or nutritionists. So it's a multidisciplinary team that comes together to curate a program to help you post heart, any injury or disease to your heart. So for example, if you've had a heart attack or myocardial infarction, these are things that they would help you to rehab for. So it's a streamlined program where we enroll you for about 3 months, and you get a customized program built to help you to address all your physical function, as I said, your nutrition, making sure that your medications are not playing a negative role in what we're doing at the time. So it's very tailored and sensitive to the needs of persons with a cardiovascular, post a cardiovascular event.
There is also a uniquely tailored program for post-COVID patients.
So our post-COVID rehab program is geared at treating persons who have had COVID and now suffer from long-term effects. So, they call it long COVID. And with that treatment program, what we do is customize it to the patient. So, for example, if you've had any speech impairments or any issues with voice or any issues with just swallowing, that kind of thing, secondary to being on a ventilator for a prolonged period of time, we do offer that treatment. If you have mental issues in terms of you can't concentrate, you have a poor attention span, you are unable to focus, or occupational therapists help to treat that type of condition as well. Or physical therapists, as you know, we treat the respiratory system as well as the cardiovascular system. So we look at any breathing problems you might have lingering, that shortness of breath, that uncontrolled breathing pattern, that anxiety. We help with that as well, just to make sure that your lungs are working at their optimal. And we also help you we customize the exercises for you, because most persons post-COVID think, okay, I should just go ahead and do and strengthen and do all these kind of exercises, when we've recognized that that's not the best way to go. It has to be a customized program where we show you how to actually slow down and make sure that you're doing just enough and no more, because that can exacerbate your symptoms.
Speech and language therapy plays a big part in persons that have had COVID. It helps with regaining communication skills that they may have been impacted due to being placed on a ventilator for a significant amount of time. Those that may have low oxygen levels to the brain may have experienced muscle weakness and reduced coordination in their articulators. So that is our lips, our tongue, our jaw, and our cheeks.
Doctors Hospital is a state-of-the-art one-stop shop for comprehensive care.
What I've realized is that Doctors Hospital still has, one of the greatest teams of therapists. And because we offer speech, we offer occupational therapy, we offer physical therapy, exercise physiology, and massage therapy, it's a very comprehensive program. It's a one-stop shop facility. You get everything that you need here. And if you need additional services, we have our pharmacists, we have our nutritionists, we have our medical team, so it's a very comprehensive facility. And of course, we have state-of-the-art equipment, and we're very forward-thinking, and, our leader, Dr. Biggis, has been very adamant about that. He wants us to think for the future and think about how best we can develop our patients and also develop ourselves, and that's a win-win combination, and so the patients will actually do better for it.
For Bahamas at Sunrise, this is Suzette Parker.
Since 1967, Freeport Oil Company Limited has been dedicated to fueling growth and prosperity in the Bahamas. We have been a constant pillar within the country, striving to invest and support our community through the best of times and the worst of times. For us, Full Call represents 21 years of strength and consistency, consistent leadership, consistent growth, consistent customer service. Through it all, we are resilient. Full Call, fueling growth for people.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
Welcome back. The Bahamian economy is an ideal model for digital financial services, was the theme for the 2021 Get Money Smart Bahamas Financial Literacy Video Essay Competition. And joining us this morning are the junior high school winners of this competition. With us this morning, we have Tamia Knowles, of Centrally Luther High School, who got first place. We have Azaria Lewis from Sister Mary P. Russell Junior High School, who got second place. And we have Hunae Moss from who homeschools in Andros, who got third place. Good morning and welcome you all to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you,
So happy to have you all here on the show. So happy to see that you're up and bright and early. You give me inspiration. You guys are looking good this morning. So I guess tell us first, Tamia, what did this theme, the Bahamian economy is an ideal model for digital financial services, mean to you?
For me, it was interesting because it was a good opportunity to see how digital financial services helped our Bahamian island since we are separated by water.
Exactly. Definitely something that's needed to help build our economy and take us to the future. Azaria, what about you?
For me, when I think digital, I think computerized and modern. I knew that it would be more efficient. It would be a more efficient way of providing a service, which I would automatically be in agreement with.
Wow, very well said, very well said. And Hunae or Honey?
It's Hunae. This theme, after I researched it, to me, it meant that our economy in terms of digital finance was so advanced that it could be called top tier and an ideal model. And it made me proud to think that we, the Bahamas, were broadening and branching off into different areas of financial service like cryptocurrency, especially being such a small country and still being ahead of major first world countries like the United States and Canada.
There you go. I love that. I love that. You all sound, you're so well-spoken, so intelligent. Definitely our future seems to be in good hands. Hunae, tell me, what did you learn while researching this topic?
While researching for this topic, I realized that digital financial services may actually be the main means of handling personal and business finance in the near future. And there are so many things that we need to know on banking and saving and spending for when we leave school and have to live on our own. So I'm very glad that Central Bank has created these competitions to expose us students to these very important topics.
I agree with you 100%. I don't think I knew anything about financial literacy in junior high school. So you guys are already ages ahead of me. Azaria, how about you? What did you learn while researching this topic?
I learned the difference between digital and cryptocurrencies. And I also learned that the Bahamas is one of the many countries leading in the way of the implementation of digital currencies.
There you go. Once again, ahead of me by miles because I'm still trying to wrap my head around crypto, right? I'm going to need one of y'all to teach me. And Tamia, how about you? What did you learn while researching this topic?
At first, I was only thinking about paying for a bill online and such, but I realized that there are more aspects such as wire transfers and point of sale, and there are many things that you could learn from banking.
Definitely. And these are the critical components that of the banking industry and of businesses that help to keep the economy flowing. So Tamia, how did it feel to win the contest?
It was surreal at first. It was like, I was shocked that it happened because it was my first time even entering a video competition. So I was very excited that I had won.
Perfect, perfect. Azaria, how did it feel to come in second place?
This is my second time in the competition and my second time coming second. I was glad, but at the same time, I really wanted the first place standing. And I'm certain that in the next coming years, I will achieve this.
Definitely. That's that winner's attitude, that winner's spirit, the spirit of competition. And Tamia, Hunae, how did it feel to come third place in the contest?
I was hoping for first place, but I was still content with my placing since it was my first time entering a video essay competition. My only regret was that I didn't enter the first year the competition was announced, so then I would have had a little more experience. But nevertheless, third place has really given me that drive and push to do even better this year.
Definitely. Light that fire in your belly, as they say, so you go back for it again and aim for first. So Tamia, you better watch out. They're coming for that spot, right? So Azaria, tell me, did you face any challenges while making your video?
One of my biggest challenges was saying the words from heart on camera. So I came to realize that a teleprompter app would be needed. And even then, I still had a lot of bloopers. So
that's all a part of the creative process, you know, and those blooper reels, you look back on those in a few years to come and smile. Tamia, how about you? Did you have any challenges making your video?
I did. The editing software that I used, it was the first time that I tried to use it, and it felt so complicated at first, but I finally figured it out.
That's the deal. You keep pushing, persevere, and you'll succeed. And Hunae, how about you? Did you have any challenges?
Yes, I did. At the time, I had a really old laptop and limited video editing software, so I wasn't able to do much in terms of editing my video. Also, I had to convert the video twice to get it into an MP4 format, and that took a very long time. But with my winnings, I was able to buy a newer and faster laptop along with some pretty good editing software, so I can spend more time researching, recording, and editing, and less time converting my video.
Wow, that's amazing. Once again, you guys are amazing. You're doing all. So Hunae, tell us, do you think digital currency is a good idea for your island?
Yes, I would say it is a good idea for my island, South Andros, as we do not have a stationary bank here. The bank travels between South Andros and Mangrove Key, and just recently, they shortened our bank days per week from 3 to 2. So having a digital currency on my island would be extremely helpful, as there'd be much less crowding and long lines at the bank. And even on days when the bank isn't here, persons would still be able to send and receive money. The older folks on my island probably won't be as interested as younger persons, but I still think it would work out great with the older folks going to the bank, because they'll be able to get in and out quickly while everyone else is handling their finances digitally.
I love that already. I can't wait for that to be available in South Andros. It'll make banking a lot more efficient and definitely better than banking in New Providence and standing in lines, right? So how about you, Azaria? Do you think digital currency will help your island in Grand Bahama?
I think digital currency would be a great opportunity for Grand Bahama, because not many people have access to transportation to get to the banks.
That's a great solution. You look at a problem, you come up with a creative solution, and I definitely think digital currency can be one of those. Tamia, how about you? For your island of Eleuthera, do you think digital currency will be a benefit?
I think that it's a great idea for Eleuthera, because the island is 110 miles long, and there are only about 4 commercial banks spread out across the island. So it would really save a lot of time and money to be able to do it digitally.
Once again, problem solving. I just love your minds. You guys are thinking so creatively. So for those of your, say, fellow students, other persons in junior school who may be interested in doing something like this, each of you give them, some advice and your final takeaway from this competition. We'll start with you, Azaria.
One of the things that helped me the most while creating the video was green screen. Definitely make a green screen, because you're going to need it.
Definitely useful in many areas of life, not just entering video competitions. The digital age now, everything is virtual, so green screens are definitely handy. Hunae, how about you? Any advice for anybody your age looking to enter this competition?
Just go for it. You may be nervous, you may be a little scared, but trust me, once you start doing that research and you start putting your essay together, it won't be as scary anymore. The hardest part, I have to say, is recording. You may mess up a couple times. Editing is a little hard as well, but that's the hardest part, and that's not even that hard. So you focus on researching, you focus on getting that essay together, and trust me, it will come together. Just do your best.
I love it. Content is key. And how about you, Tamia? Any advice for fellow students your age?
I would definitely say enter the competition. It is not only a great opportunity, but you get good experience and you learn a lot about banking, which you'll use when you grow up. So I think that you should definitely go for it and try your best.
I love it. Just great advice, not only for persons in junior school, but for all of our viewers of all ages, all across the country and the world. We'd like to thank you all for being on this show this morning. Such a great inspiration to everyone, very knowledgeable. You guys make me feel secure that our future is in the right hands. So we'd like to thank Tamia Knowles, who gained first place in the video essay competition, Azaria Lewis, and Hunae Moss for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you so much. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Started by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions last year when we were trying to figure out how to help business leaders as well as consumers to stay connected. Working with Canoe, working with other partners, working with the government and My Gateway to help them to connect with customers who want to place orders and want to be able to do things in a digital way.
My Gateway. My Gateway is a groundbreaking portal through which clients can request and pay for government services online. We have 28 services. We expect to increase the number of services to a minimum of 200.
I love that we're helping the government and helping our citizens to be more efficient and to use their time more wisely.
I invite you to sign up for mygateway.gov.bs and let us make government work for you. Join the click.
In the Bahamas, small business is big business. More than 90% of the businesses in the Bahamas are classified as micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center was created to serve them. We at the Access Accelerator offer a variety of services to our clients: business advisory services, training and entrepreneurial programming, mentorship and incubation, and advocacy.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our clients. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Since 1967, Freeport Oil Company Limited has been dedicated to fueling growth and prosperity in the Bahamas. We have been a constant pillar within the country, striving to invest and support our community through the best of times and the worst of times. For us, Full Call represents 21 years of strength and consistency, consistent leadership, consistent growth, consistent customer service. Through it all, we are resilient. Full Call, fueling growth for people.
Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. We wish you a wonderful week.
Yes, thank you for joining us dead early on the Spring Forward Monday. Don't forget, today is Pie Day, so go and solve a math puzzle, go and eat a piece of pie, or if you have a pie in your life, let them know how much you appreciate that.
Make it a great one. We'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, have a great week.